Yo, what is up, guys? It's me, Eve, again here playing Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains. In today's video, we're gonna talk about the Aogiri. So we had the videos about and Teiku, we had the CCG 3 teams. Now is the time for the 3 Aogiri teams. This is what kinda it's looking like in current state, because we have Naki coming in for an Aogiri in basically like a few days. So he's gonna be a new backup, and he's probably gonna replace Ken, even though I think Ken is much better character, especially if you have the gut cell. But unfortunately, CP sometimes does play a big role in terms of PvP content that doesn't require you to have an auto stuff. Then CP does come in handy much more, and because of that, Naki could be sometimes get switched between with the combat Ken here just for the sake of the CP advantage. But this is the kind of the new meta team, the Noro team, basically with the Jason, Noro, the Easter Ayato, and the Tai Ayato. There's also the versions that have the Tatsura in there. It does work well as well, but I think for the most part, I do like the Psy Ayato with the God Cell much better than Tatsura. I think this is like also like a much higher CP stat. Even if you even in the auto team, you don't really need that much of a high CP, but his debuff from the God Cell is just really good. So because of that, I think the Ayato existence in this team does make a big difference overall, as well as just a CP. Like no one's gonna say no to a CP advantage as well with having him over Tatsura. But again, Tatsura does work really well in this team as well. So something that I would uh, think you could go for. I think this is the best team for auto. Sometimes it doesn't really work out in terms of the CP advantage team, because sometimes there's a lot of teams that could go beyond this CP because you're using, like for example, if you're using the Tatra. But on auto, definitely Tatra is worth it here, and he does play a really good type of support in this full-on team as well. So this is the first team for Aogiri. There is a second team that I think this is currently going to be the second team for Aogiri, because Jason is kind of two ways. If you're building the CP advantage team, then you're switching up this Jason into the with Jason. Basically, he's gonna be in the main team. This is a full-on just CP advantage team, right? But if you're not using him in terms of CP and you're using the auto team here, then Jason comes in into the second team, and then this is just a pure one-shot team. You need to have the Sen here. You need to have for example, someone as a backup. The Toka in that sense comes in really handy because she's a diverse team character, and then you can put her. For example, if you don't have her, you can put Range in here. You can obviously put the Naki, who is also a Aogiri diverse backup. So he also works pretty fine as well in there. But I don't think there's much of point in putting both of them when you have one of the best currently backups in the game because of the diversity. Obviously, her. So again, Sen just buffs the skill levels. These two do a shit ton of damage and just make everything crumble with the goat Ayato here, the goat of the Jason, or the goat of the carnival basically here as well. Both of them just demolish the enemy team for sure. So this is the second team. And the third team, I think so far is kind of, this is what you have. You don't have much, basically. This is not really looking that great. But there's a few things that you could try pull off. So in the third team, because on the regular chains, the red Tatsura is actually pay to win character. So if you're a pay to win, you could possibly switch this Tatsura and with the Senti here. So you put two Tatsuras and this guy as a third team, and switch up these Noro, for example, here. So you're gonna have two Tatsuras here, basically, like this. Imagine there's a second Tatsura here, and you use either Senti is in the third team, or you use the Ayato for the sake of shield. And this is just a full-on survivability team, basically, in here. So this is gonna be another a great team that you could try. But if you don't have the red Tatra, so you're kind of like a free to play or like a really low spender that didn't really go for the red Tatra, then the Tatra stays in here and you just go for a full on whatever you have basically left for the third team. And it's gonna be you will need to put the Noro in here, like I showed you here. Obviously, the Naki will be the backup. This is the only choice. If you have the Naki in the second team, then the Rangy is gonna be your backup as the third one. Obviously, with the new Naki, that's gonna come in the prisoner Naki. He's gonna go into either first team or the second team, and then the Naki is this Naki is definitely gonna be in the third one. But this one doesn't really work much. There's nothing else except for like Senti. There's no other good characters in here. Like Ito, if you have her on triple S, at least she can heal and apply alert and buff a little bit of a damage. He's only good for assistance. He only does like a little bit of shield for the team, so not much of worth on the field. His AoE damage is also like pretty shit. So either way, not the greatest character. Noro here also like he's a very old character, one of the first ones, as well as he's in the arena character. Basically a standard banner, the same as Naki. They're basically two of them are in the same category of standard banner characters. So at this point they're very old, so they're not that great. But so I don't recommend building, to be honest, a third team for Aogiri. So far, only two good teams. So for them, maybe once the like I don't know, Red Tatra comes in and becomes like a free character, this is where things could change. Red Tatra like becomes free, as well as then we have the like maybe another character that is also a DPS character or support, and something on the first and second team changes, and then there's a few more slots open for characters in here that you can exchange for like Noro and Naki, for example, as well as for this Ayato or maybe even Ito, and this is where something interesting could happen to the third star, to the third team. But so far, I think this is the best you can possibly pull off. Other than that, hopefully you loved the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, as well as tell me what would you put in your third team, or like what would you do with your three Aogiri teams, for example, as well as tell me how are you going with if you're going for one of the same org and trying to build all the three teams with one org. I do think this is probably one of the best things you could possibly pull off with it as a free to play, going for at least two teams from the same org, and then third one is going to be like from another org. I think that's the best case scenario. So hopefully you will also tune in for the streams. I do stream almost every other day. I always post notifications beforehand in the Discord, so don't miss out on joining the Discord as well, so you don't miss any videos or the streams as well. Other than that, hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.